I'm going to share tips and info that I feel is very useful if you're going to be going out into the job market. Whether you're looking for a job right now or you want to strategize and position yourself to be found, then this information is going to help you along the way. So let's get into it. My name is Julie Mungai, and I train people for the workplace, as well as I'm a LinkedIn certified expert in strategy, measurement, and as well as content and creative design. So you want to look for work. Of course, check job boards. Check job boards in your locality. So if you're in Kenya, you can check brightermonday.com, actually brightermonday.co.ke. You can check Fuzu, you can check LinkedIn, and those are places you can actually just go online and look. You can also check places like My Jobs in Kenya or My Job Mag. And so some of these platforms you'll find some will have a lot of adverts, some won't, but that's okay. Just check the link and see if it goes to like the site looks a bit legitimate. And that's okay. Or some of these job boards, you'll find you'll click a link and then it takes you to the actual website of that company. Others, you click the link and then you actually put your details on that platform. So, in terms of looking for a job, check online job boards that you find in your locality. So, whether you're in Kenya or Uganda or Nigeria or Ghana or wherever you are, so go to your locality. Then, if you are applying online, particularly nowadays, you need an ATS optimized CV. An ATS optimized CV, so basically, ATS means applicant tracking system. So many companies are using a software, or now actually AI, to check if your CV matches the JD. So the thing is, you could actually be the best person for the job. But because your CV doesn't have the keywords that this ATS system is looking for, then you end up not being shortlisted. So that's why it's very important to have an ATS optimized CV, whereby it shall have keywords for that match the JD, the JD of the job that you're looking for. And the difference between a normal CV and an ATS optimized CV is that the ATS has a certain format. When you have an ATS CV, it has a certain format, meaning it won't have a lot of extra things like colors and forms. Very basic, very simple for the computer to read. So if you see a lot of graphics in your CV, it usually means that it is not ATS optimized. And many international companies use this. Local companies, as I said, have started using this, but also many international companies use this just because they get applications from all over. And so I encourage us, please get an ATS optimized CV. Now, apart from the job board, so now you have your ATS optimized CV and it's current. And please make sure, I've been seeing some things on TikTok that says, just lie on your CV. Please don't lie. Yeah. Because you might apply to a job, you're shortlisted, you go for an interview, and they ask you in that specific area where you lied. Okay. So let's say you say you're fluent in German and you're not, the person might switch and start talking German. So you don't want that. So just don't lie. Yeah. Of course, praise yourself, blow your trumpet there, not in an arrogant way, but just in a factual way that this is what you've done, this is the value that you can bring to the company. Now, with CVs and cover letters, you must tailor make each for each job. I know sometimes you're applying for 10 jobs, but you have to tailor make it. So sometimes it doesn't mean that you revamp the whole CV. It's just maybe to tweak certain things or remove certain irrelevant things for that particular job, or and also making sure you address the right company. I have had examples where I've sent emails to companies, and because I'm sending too many, I end up making the mistake and addressing the wrong person in the email. So of course that is not a very good first impression. And so that's why after you create your CV, your cover letter, and now you are tailor making it to each job, just cross check. You can have a friend to look at it and just to make sure that you're matching the right company for the right JD and cover letter. For example, you might want to work in a school, but there are different types of schools. You'll have a boarding school, you'll have a day school, you have a school that has boarding and day. You'll have one that just has primary or prep. You have one that it's only a senior school. So that's why you have to tailor make it, because not all schools are are the same in terms of how they run. So, yes, job board, CV, cover letter. Now, the interview comes. You're shortlisted. Hallelujah. So now you go for the interview. Make sure you get there on time. If it's somewhere that it's not in your particular city or town, then calculate how you'll be able to get there on time early. If it's in a different city, try and get there an hour early just in case of anything. Something might happen on the road. So it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Then, if it's just somewhere within your town, just make sure you're there 30 minutes before so you can even relax, take time if you need to review some notes. That would be good. I would suggest try not to be so much on your phone. Yeah. Um, if you are on your phone, make sure it's something useful like you're researching the company or something like that. If you can avoid putting earphones, unless you have to listen to something, then just be reading whatever you're reading. Why I say this is sometimes impressions matter. Like if someone comes and finds you on the phone, let it be like you're not watching, a video. It should be something that is related to that particular interview. I know some of us will say, "Oh, I'm watching this particular video so that I can, maybe it's an interview video." And yes, that could help, but sometimes it's better not to do it right then and right there, just because someone may not know what you're watching, and so they might think you're just scrolling aimlessly on TikTok or Instagram. So just come there early so that if let's say your hair was up and about, maybe it's a mess. Like for example, I remember I went for an interview and I had an afro at that time. So it was before I had dreads. That was quite a long time ago. And so my hair was like up, I was trying to, as in because of the movement. So the good thing, because actually I ended up arriving the night before because it was in a different county. So I was able to sleep. And then now I was able just to manage my hair before going for the interview. So you see, I'm not so stressed because of the lack of time. Yeah. So why you come early is, first of all, it makes a good impression. You're there on time. And then also you're able just to calm down, relax, get comfortable with your surroundings so that when you're called in, then you'll be a bit more settled. So now you're called in for the interview. Oh, before, please make sure you have dressed appropriately. Dressed appropriately, okay? Um, Actually, I know sometimes we don't know what does that mean, and so it's just basically dress formally. Yeah, dress formally. Formally meaning you're going for business, not for a dinner or going out. It's for business. So dress formally. It's better that, and then you're told, oh, by the way, you don't have to dress so formal. You can dress like this, like this, like this. If we hire you, but you'd rather make a very good impression than an impression whereby someone thinks you are lazy or you're not taking this interview seriously. So if you're a man, please wear a tie. Okay? Please wear a tie. Then after that, you find out you don't need to be wearing a tie when you're hired. That's absolutely fine. But you've made a good first impression. There's a quote that says, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And by the way, all this, if you want to learn this in a more formal setting so that you can present it as a certificate form, like the evidence that you've gone through this training, we actually do it at Lagbara Limited. So just go to the website, lagbaralimited.com, LAGBARALTD.com, and then navigate your way to the trainings that will be coming. And we have online trainings, so it means wherever you are in the world, you can access it. We use EAT, East African Time, and so you can join. It's at this time of making this video. The online course is 4 days and it's in the evening, between 5 and 9 p.m. So between Tuesday and Friday. Okay, this might change in the future if you see this in the future, but at this time, the online sessions are like that. And if you do come for physical session, it is 2 days so that you're able to get the skills and be able to apply. Okay, so let's continue. So dress appropriately. Don't overdo it. Yeah. And even your makeup. Yeah. If you come for an interview, make sure it is appropriate, subdued, let me say. Okay. Because we're not going for wedding. So we're not going for the glam. We're not going out, to party. It's a subdued makeup. You don't want to distract the panelist or the interviewer. Okay. And then also, as women, no low cut blouses, just because that can be a distraction. And so just you just want people to make sure they're listening to you, focus on you. They're not thinking, oh, this person has come for an interview and they're dressed like this. And I'll encourage us, please let's not wear casual wear. For example, like Crocs, wear some leather shoes or ballet shoes, like formalish. But you remember, you do not get a second chance to make a first impression. So you get in there, and of course, I hope you would have tried the clothes before. I remember I was speaking to someone, a HR person, a professional, and she said how there's a time they were having a meeting with someone, and the lady's skirt, either it was old or it was too tight, but when she sat down, it ripped, and so they had to suspend the interview for a bit just to have that sorted out. So that's something you don't want. You don't want to have picked something, a very nice suit, maybe for the guys, and then when you just do like this here, at the back because it's ripped. Yeah. So please do that. And also, even for guys and ladies, nothing flashy over the top. Yeah. Unless you're doing some sort of creativity um application, or fashion or something that is relevant to the job. But if it's not that, make it subdued. You can have colors like navy blue, black, white, deep red, burgundy, as in you can do a bright red, by the way. Yeah. Just make sure whatever you're wearing is formal, decent, and appropriate. Okay. So, and not over the top. Yeah. Let's not have too many accessories going on. So, so, so after you get in, yeah. So you get in, greet everyone who's there, then listen to the instructions they share, because sometimes they just may only want one answer, or they'll say, please keep it to a limit of 1 minute. So please follow the instructions. Okay. It will show that you can follow instructions. Then smile. Okay. Smile. And just to make the interviewers, it's a way of helping them warm up to you. So you can smile. Smile as you answer the questions. Make sure you're honest. Don't add anything. Don't embellish, your accomplishments. Be factual, but also pass on your your value. All right, pass on your value. If you have statistics, like let's say you organized um, an event for 800 people. So for me, that's something I did. So if I was going for a related event interview, let's say interview, then I would be like, oh, uh, a related job. Yeah. So I would say that, I organized an event for 800 people that included ages this to this, and it was to celebrate this. Okay. So if you're able to give details, that helps. And then also just try and stick with what they've asked, not just say, oh, did you do this? Yes. Or no, not one word answers, but just to make sure you don't start going into other things that will eat into your time, because many times you're not the only candidate that they're interviewing. And so you want to be able to pass on your value in good time. So you're in there, you're being honest, you're smiling, you know, you're getting fielded questions. And so there's some questions that'll be difficult, some questions will be easy to answer. I'll give an example. Like, for example, if they ask you how much do you want to be paid, you can give a range. Okay. You can say between this amount and this amount. And so then now at least it won't be a fixed number. But for you to have been able to say that, you would have researched the workplace. So if we go back, when you're applying for this job, research like how much the pay could be, research about the company, where it is, so that if you're asked a question now in the interview, do you have any questions for us? Make sure you have at least one. Okay. Don't go there and say, oh no, thank you very much, I'm absolutely fine. No, you say, oh yes, I read that ABCD, ABCD. Okay. So these are things that we train in our course. So if that is something that you need, just go to lagbaralimited.com and check it out, and look for the trainings, the upcoming trainings. All right. So you do the interview, finish. So make sure you thank everyone as you leave, or thank the person for their time. And then you can leave. Of course, thank the people who are around. maybe it's the PA or secretary. And by the way, when you come into the for the interview, you can greet your fellow interviewers, and even as you're leaving, greet them. Even if you feel and you aced it, and these guys don't have a chance, it's good to be humble and to just. And then we usually just don't know. You don't know if you've gotten it. So, but anyway, it's just good to be polite, a polite human being. As you leave, just greet everybody. The other people have come for the interview, and all the way till the person at the gate, because you just never know. And anyway, it's always good just to be good, whether you're going for an interview or not. Just greet people around you. So, so yeah. So you're going for the interview, and so I hope that has been helpful. Um, oh yes. So in terms of positioning yourself, LinkedIn profile is so key. Yeah, because what is happening right now, people, as we know, let's say someone applies, then maybe you're shortlisted, and before they shortlisted you, they probably have put you into Google, and now we have AI to see what does it say about you. And so you don't want to be bringing out things that may put you in disrepute or just make them feel, oh, should we hire this person or not? Let's maybe next time. Yeah. So you need to curate your online presence for, of course, for social media. Of course, we go out, we do different things. So it's good to put a privacy setting there. And, the HR professionals will understand that. The business owner will understand that, it's a private thing. That's absolutely fine. But now with LinkedIn, LinkedIn is known as a professional platform all around the world. In fact, here in Kenya, we don't utilize it as much as we possibly could. But abroad, they put so much data into it. They'll put in their revenue. Of course, employees, I know we also do that, but there's a lot of information that goes into there. And HR professionals will also look for you there. So if they put Google, let's say they go to google.com, they don't go to AI, and then they see everywhere you appear. Of course, sometimes, there'll be other people who have your same name, but of course, they'll look for you yourself. They'll check images, and then your LinkedIn profile they'll check and see. And sometimes many of us have a LinkedIn account, but there's nothing there, or it's so static, or maybe it's not optimized. For example, the place for the face is like super, like you've put a full photo instead of just your face, and then maybe the about section or the header section is not clear about exactly what you do, so they don't know if what value are we giving. Now, why it's important to have a LinkedIn profile, even if it's not so much for the Kenyan market, though they will still check. If you're looking for an international job, like let's say as a virtual assistant or an international job with an international company on site, many of them rely on LinkedIn. Yeah, they'll go and say, okay, what is this person's profession? What do they do? What sort of value they give? And then also, now you find for some events, when you're putting your name, your email, some may actually ask you for your LinkedIn profile. It might be a required question that you need to answer, or it may not be a required question. So, so that's the thing. It's good just to have it there. You don't have to be posting on it regularly if you don't have that time. And posting regularly could just be like once a week. Yeah. And then also sometimes you can even get people reaching out to you, saying, oh, would you like to participate in this event, or we're looking for someone to do this. By the way, on LinkedIn you can actually get opportunities, and opportunities doesn't just mean jobs. It could be invitation to events, it could be opportunities to provide maybe your thoughts. And so that's why it's good to have an optimized profile, so that also LinkedIn also has ads. When they're targeting people on LinkedIn, they know how to target you. If they're looking for you, if they're looking for someone in this particular seniority, then they know how to target them. And so there are different ways they target, through location, industry, function, even seniority. So that's how they normally put the LinkedIn ads. And so that's something actually I help companies with. So if that's something you're interested in terms of your own company, or you want to develop organic content, so you're not paying on LinkedIn, then that's something I can also support you on. And particularly if you're CEO or the owner of a company, then you can actually curate thought leadership pieces. And actually, there's a statistic that says that another decision maker seeing a decision maker's thought leadership piece can help them increase the likelihood for them to actually buy, if it's something that they are looking for. So you can actually curate thought leadership pieces on LinkedIn. You can do organic content, or you can just be sharing. Let's say you're looking for a job, then you can actually share your expertise there, show your portfolio there, give your opinion on a trending topic in your area of interest or expertise. And so LinkedIn is actually a very viable way to go. And I've been in events whereby they do ask for my LinkedIn profile. And it wasn't just one particular event, there were others. Okay. So you don't want to be that person who doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. And the thing is, what happens, why LinkedIn profile is a bit different, is different from the others, is because it's known as a professional networking site. So it's not just for laughs, as in it's for business. B2B, business to business, or business to customer. So people do expect you to, share about your expertise, even if you're not putting posts. But if someone goes to your profile, because you see people have visited your profile, what do they see? They see so and so is a graphic designer, and they're able to do XYZ. So you can say you can able to do XYZ if you don't have experience. Maybe you just finished from high school or from university, and so you don't have so much experience. So you can just say what your certificate or degree allows or helps you to do. And I encourage you to volunteer. Look for opportunities to volunteer. That is also something you can put on your CV that you did volunteer somewhere. And not so much even just to fill your time, but to grow as a person, to be able to learn how it feels to work in this space and that space. And then also you find in some jobs when they call you for the interview, they will ask, let's say maybe you've not updated your CV or something, they might ask, okay, between this year and this year, what were you up to? And so you'll say, oh, I was actually volunteering at this particular organization. And so I say that because that happened to me. I was asked, yeah. They found there's a gap in my CV. So they asked me what I did. And so I said, oh, I was volunteering in church or I was a secretary. I can't remember. And the thing is, oh, I was teaching, maybe something. I can't remember. But the thing is, it was the truth, number one. And then number two, if they decide to call the church or the pastor who was there around, it would have been verified that I actually was active. So people want to see that you're active, you're doing something to grow yourself. You're not just at home, um, uh, bed rotting or something. You're actually trying to grow yourself as you wait to get a job. So in terms of online courses, watching YouTube videos, and then applying what you learn. It's important just to keep growing, even though I know it can be quite a struggle to stay focused, um, to stay focused when you're looking for a job and you've been looking for it for a long time. But just know that you are of value. God loves you so much. Yeah. There's a reason why you wake up every day. Okay. It's a new chance, a new goal, you can start again. So if you've been struggling, you're wondering, now I'm going to apply again, then at least now you've learned how to optimize yourself, how to keep going. Yeah, keep going, and to look for work or look for opportunities. And the thing is, there are very many places where you can learn free courses. All right, online. I know Coursera. Coursera now has many paid courses, or you pay for the certificate. There was a time where most of it was free, but COVID COVID changed a lot of things, and you may see some other places online that are free. There's some very good YouTubers who teach on specific topics. So check online, check Coursera, check I don't know why they're going right now, like Google certificates, and then there are others. So if you do want to learn about soft skills, because what's happening with businesses, they're struggling to get people who are ready for the workplace in terms of soft skills. You might have the technical skills, you're a graphic designer, editor, but you can't keep time. And that affects everything. It affects your deliverables. It affects, when you come for something, you're late, so maybe you can't catch up on what was there. It can affect the reputation of the company. Let's say you are meant to arrive to help set up an event, and then because you are not there and you're in charge of something specific that affects everybody else. So there's timekeeping. How to write an email, to be professional, not just, hi, I'm here, I'm here to, sorry, let me say, hi, my name is so and so. I would like the job best, Julie. Yeah, you must have some body in that email. You must put something more in the email. So, and that's what they're struggling with. People keep time. People write professional emails. People who have integrity with their work, meaning that you know you do your work even when your boss is not looking. Yeah. Let not your boss have to be in the vicinity for you to do your work. Just do the work. You can look at your phone later. But just being self-disciplined to do the right thing. And then also taking initiative in terms of, don't be that person when they ask, okay, who can help with this? Then you're always like this. I know sometimes, it's like you don't want to volunteer all the time. However, if you do want to grow, take some initiative, and so that you're able to learn to grow and you end up standing out because you took the initiative. And so in the other opportunities, you may be asked to opportunities in terms to grow or to be promoted or to be given maybe a bonus or something, then they would have seen you. They say, oh, this person actually is proactive, they're owning their work. Yeah. And so make sure you own your work. Although you're working for somebody else, it is still your work. Yeah. Umekubali kufanya hiyo job, meaning in English, you decided that you're going to do that job, you agreed. So let's do it to the best of our ability. In the end, it is our legacy. Wherever you're going to work, whether you're working for free, volunteering, it is still your legacy. You want people to feel bad when you're leaving, or feel happy that you're going to a better place, but not to feel happy that they've gotten rid of you. Okay. They're like, oh, thank, yeah, thank God this person has gone, and for real, as in thanking God, not just using his name to pain. Yeah. As in, you don't want people to be having a party because you've left. Yeah. Do your work so well. I'm not saying everybody's going to like you. Nope. You're not going to be bosom buddies with everyone. Nope. But you can know, and you will know in your heart. You will know in your heart of hearts if you did your best or you didn't. So I know sometimes, many jobs are thankless. We're just like, why am I here? Or they won't notice, but you have to just keep focused. Remember, it is your work. And so you want to leave the right legacy. So whether it's noted or not, whether you're thanked or not, you know you did a good job. And know that, and God has provided that job for you. So do it to the best of your ability until the next thing comes. And yeah, unfortunately, there's no perfect place, just like there's no perfect church. So you'll find there'll always be that like one person who okay, if you don't get that one person, just write that in the comments. I'd like to see that. That's fantastic. But many times you will find there's like at least one person who you may not get along with, but you have to work with them. So in that scenario, you're just polite and cordial because you have to work together. So so why I'm saying that is, don't just jump from job to job because that is, this place toxic, this place toxic. Sometimes just one person, yeah, but you need the work. So just stick around. And then also, like for me personally, um, what am I trying to say? I think I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I've decided not to like edit this video, like all different things. I just want it to be a conversation between the two of us. But I just want to say, like, do your best wherever you are, even where it's hard, until you and ask God to open a door for you to go somewhere else, so that you can give a good legacy. You did your best. And so, like, legacy is so important, whether people acknowledge it or not. God sees it, and God can, and God will honor you. All right. And so, yeah, if you need help with like CVs or LinkedIn or other related information and help. Also, we do study abroad. Check out lakbaralimited.com. Look for our services. Go to WhatsApp and follow us there. We have two channels: the Lakbara Limited channel, where we give you updates on what we're doing, as well as the marketplace. If you want to post for your business, you can post. We do one flat fee. And so that's somewhere you can go and get some help. So I'm Julie Mungai, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please comment if there's something you'd want us to talk about next.